Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and here is 5 more card magic plots that every beginner magician should know. Hello my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Advice for Magicians, where my job is to make you the best possible entertainers that you can be. Now, a few weeks ago, I put out a video called Top 5 Card Magic Effects that Every Magician Should Know, and this is the sequel to it. I reached out to you guys and asked, what were some of your favorite card plots? And I have 5 more for you in this video. If I did not mention your favorite card plot, please go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, and I will make a 5 more video in discussing what those are as well. Or maybe you're getting tired of hearing about card plots and you want to hear about something else. You want to hear about coin plots, or maybe you want to hear about different genres of magic, right? Like mentalism or rope magic or linking ring magic and just different things like this. You want to kind of expand outside of cards, right? Let me know in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's jump in. All right, the first one is the A-can, or the can, and that stands for any card at any number or card at any number. Now, they both sound very similar. That one letter at the very start changes kind of a little bit the way that the effect is performed, but for the most part, the effect is exactly the same. A spectator chooses a card, the card is lost into the deck is shuffled, and then the spectator names any number that they want between 1 and 52. The cards are dealt to the number that the spectator chose, and then you reveal the card that was chosen by the spectator, right? So let's just say they choose the 6 of spades. The 6 of spades is lost into the deck is shuffled, the deck is set down on the table, and now you say, all right, name any number between 1 and 52, and they say 12. You're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then when you turn the 12th card over, it's the 6 of spades, right? That's the card at any number plot. Now, what's the difference between a card at any number and any card at any number, right? Card at any number is when a spectator chooses a card, whether it be by picking a card, or you can dribble the cards and they can tell you to stop anytime that they want, right? They have a fair choice. Sometimes you might force the card, right? But for the most part, the spectator feels like they have a fair choice. They're picking a card from the deck and putting it back into the deck. The deck is then mixed, and then you have them name a number and you deal down to the cards. Now, any card at any number is just a little bit different because the spectator doesn't pick the card, they freely name any card, right? So when a card is picked and put back into the deck, you have a little bit more control. You can control the card to wherever you want as you're shuffling it. If it's an any card at any number, they can name any card and then they can name any number. And the holy grail of an any card at any number effect is the ability to not touch the deck, have them name any card that they want. So let's just say they say 10 of spades. You have them name any card that they want. They name freely the 10 of spades, and then you say name any number that you want. And then they deal that many cards down, and then they deal to the 10 of spades. Without touching the deck at all. That's like a pure any card at any number, and there are thousands of different versions of this to try to get as close to that as possible. And this can be using a completely ordinary deck with a bit of sleight of hand, or maybe it uses a completely ordinary deck that is stacked in such a way that by doing a simple math equation in your head, you can figure out how to get that card to the exact position that you need it to be. Or you can use a fully gimmicked deck. There are gimmicked decks that are devoted to doing this exact thing, right? First one that comes to mind is Position Impossible by Brent Braun. Or you can use something as simple as a Svengali deck, which is, again, it's a special deck of cards that allows you to do a bunch of really cool stuff, but you can use that to do a sort of card at any number type effect, where you have someone, you dribble the cards, they say stop, you show them the card, you lose it into the deck, you give the deck a mix, and you say name any number between 1 and 52, and you just very cleanly deal that number of cards, and then you reveal the card that they picked. And that's just a couple examples of an any card at any number, or a card at any number, the A-can, or the can. Next up, we have the homing card, and for this I'm going to refer to any time a card vanishes from a deck and appears somewhere else. So that could be a card to pocket, that could be a card to box, That could be a card to shoe, a card to wallet, or maybe a card to some sort of impossible location, like a box that's been locked up and they open it and the card is inside the box, right? So there are tons and tons of different variations of this on the market. Again, whether they be gimmicked or whether it be using a completely ordinary deck and some sleight of hand, there's tons of different ways to get a card to vanish and appear somewhere else, right? Now in the last episode, I talked about something called the ambitious card. That's where the card rises to the top of the deck under impossible conditions, right? In this situation, oftentimes an ambitious card routine and a homing card routine will kind of be combined together. So the card rises to the top, then it rises to the top again in an even more impossible way, and then it rises to the top a third time. This time you weren't even touching the cards. And now the spectator's expecting it to rise to the top, but wait a minute, it's not the right card. And then they look up, and now the card's hanging from your mouth. Wait a minute, that was weird. Here, let me do that again. You put the card inside the deck, it vanishes, they're looking up at your mouth, but it's not there. Now it's under the box. Wait a minute, how did that happen? And then you pick the card out from underneath the box. Watch, see if we can make it happen again. You put the card back in the deck, you click your fingers, you look at the box, but it's not under the box. Well, where did it go? Hold on a minute. You reach into your pocket, you pull the card out of your pocket. Let me do that one more time. Maybe the card's gonna go to my pocket this time. Put the card into the deck. The whole deck vanished this time, leaving me with just the card. Well, where did the whole freaking deck go? Oh, it went over into this pocket. And then you take the card, you put it back in the deck, it's vanished. Wait a minute, the box on the table, pick that up. There's a card inside. You reach in, there's a folded card, you unfold it, and it's the spectator's signed card and you hand it to them. That's an example of a homing card routine or a card to impossible location, because that card is kind of shooting to, think of it like a homing missile, right? Where do I want that card to go? I want it to go to the box, so I need to figure out how to get it to the box, right? Again, tons of different ways to do this. You can do this gimmicked, you can do this ungimmicked, and just like in the last video, please check the links in the description, because I'm going to link you guys to some different variations of all of these things so you guys can see for yourself what some of these card plots actually look like in action. Hey everyone, so sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to take a quick minute to thank the newest members of the mob for joining. Thank you guys so much. It's because of you that I'm truly able to keep this channel going. You're gonna get early access to videos, you're gonna access tutorials, lectures, and even get one-on-one access with me where you can pick my brain about anything that you like. If you guys would like to join them and become a member of the mob, please click the join button, or you can click the membership tab right here on the channel for more information. If you guys would like to see some more awesome magic, please head over to my online magic shop at o'brienmagic.com. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and ring the bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for the interruption, and now back to the video. Next up, we have Out of This World, and this is an effect where you take a deck of cards, you shuffle it all up, and then you hold up a card and you say, is this a red card or a black card? And you're holding it up so that the back is facing the spectator so they can't see. And they go, it's a red card. And you set it down. Is this a red card or a black card? It's a black card. You set it down in this pile. Red or black? Black, you set it down in this pile. Red or black? Red, you set it down in this pile. Red or black? Red. Red or black? Black. And you keep doing that until you've gone through all of the cards. Now, there's two different piles here. The deck was shuffled. I showed you, is this a red card or a black card? And you chose, you made all the decisions. We put all the red cards in this pile and we put all the black cards in this pile. Let's see how you did. And when you turn everything over, all of the red cards are in one pile and all of the black cards are in another pile. And this is a plot called Out of This World. Now, since the original version, there have been hundreds of different versions of this. Some that use the entire deck, some that only use a few cards. For me, I have a variation out on the market called Out of This Millennium, which uses only 10 cards. It's very quick, boom, 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 boom. And it uses Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so it makes it a little bit more interesting. But you can use any cards for this as long as the deck has the red cards and the black cards. Or like I said, you could do it with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You could do it with the monster cards or the magic cards, right? You could do it with Pokemon. Is it a character card or is it an energy card, right? You can do this however you want. Shuffle up the cards, the spectator makes all the decisions, and then still all of the cards of one type are on one side and all of the cards of the other type are on the other side. Next up, we have the story deck. And probably the most popular version of this is Sam the Bellhop by Bill Malone. Basically what a story deck routine is when you're shuffling the cards, you're mixing them all up, and you're telling the story to the audience. And as you're telling the story, you're turning cards over from the deck, producing cards or dealing cards or shooting cards out of the middle of the deck, and they're assisting you in the story, right? So for example, Sam the Bellhop opens up with, yeah, you know, there was this really fancy hotel and these four guys came walking through the door all dressed like kings, right? And then he deals the four kings out, right? And then he's going through and he's like, yeah, we need to find, you know, some ladies for these kings to sit at the bar and drink with, right? So Sam, the little bellhop, he goes over to the 654 club, and as he's shuffling, he's dealing out the 654, like 654 cards come out of the deck. And he brings these ladies, a couple of brunettes and a couple of redheads. So now the two black queens, the two red queens come out, right? Here you go, Sam. Here's a $2 tip, and a $2 or a 2 card comes out of the deck, right? So what makes this so interesting is as you're shuffling the deck, you're telling the story and you're dealing the cards out in the same sequence to assist you in the storytelling. So they're having a visual aid to the story that you're telling, essentially. And again, different ways to do this. You can have everything set up from the start and not shuffle the cards at all, and you can just tell the story and you're just dealing the cards out, and that's kind of a cute little way to do it. You can do it in a more magical way where you're shuffling and cutting the cards, controlling everything, of course, but you're making it seem as though you're cutting right to the exact cards that you need, right? There's some instances even where someone might do a story deck routine where they truly do shuffle the cards. They hand the cards to a spectator, the spectator shuffles them, and now the magician is telling a story and dealing the cards, but he's improvising the story based on the cards that come out, right? So he might be like, yeah, he went to this bar down the street. It was called the 7 Ace 2 bar. Like dealing the cards out. And yeah, there was someone there, and you turn over like the ace of spades. Yeah, and he was an ace pilot, you know, or something like that. And you're like telling the story, but you're making it up as you deal the cards, right? Literally making it up as you deal the cards. There's so many different ways to do this, but I highly recommend that you guys check it out. I haven't learned a version of it called Skipper Jack and the World Famous Jungle Cruise years ago, which is a story deck about the famous Disneyland attraction, the Jungle Cruise, and it's a story deck routine, right? So all kinds of different really fun variations of it. Again, check the links in the description below because I'm going to show you guys a couple of them down there. Last but not least, we have the color changing deck and the blank deck. I'm kind of lumping both of these together. Although they're two different plots, technically speaking, sort of the same thing happens. And that is the ink is changing on the cards. With a color changing deck routine, typically you show all of the backs of the cards. Let's just say that it's a red deck of cards, and then you wave your hand over it, and now all of the cards on the back are blue, right? Or with a blank deck routine, you show all of the cards are blank, there's nothing printed on them, and then one at a time you start printing the cards front and back, and now all of the cards look printed, right? And again, there's ways to do this using completely sleight of hand with maybe just a couple of extra cards, a couple of gimmicks built into the deck, but you're doing it otherwise with a completely ordinary deck of cards. And by adding those couple of gimmicks in, you're able to do some really cool stuff. Or you could do it with a completely gimmicked deck of cards. So for example, there's a deck called Mental Photography that allows you to show a completely blank deck and then print all of the cards. And you don't have to know any sleight of hand. The deck does all of the work for you, right? Or if you just use a single gimmick, you can show an entire red deck of cards has now changed it into an entire blue deck of cards. And all you have to do is just steal off that one gimmick, and now you can hand the deck out and it can be examined, it can be shuffled. You can use it for the next trick from your spectators, right? So different variations on this, right? So you can do it with a single card. So there's an effect out there called Red Hot Mama where one card's back changed. All of the cards are blue, but now all of a sudden there's a red card that has appeared inside of the deck, and it's the card that the spectator chose. Or it could be something like all of the cards were red, and now they're all blue, except for the one red card, which is the card that the spectator chose, right? There's different ways to do it. That's just a couple of different variations on the color changing deck and the blank deck. All right, my friends, thank you so much. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you guys are rock stars, and I really, really appreciate you. As always, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what some of your favorite plots in Magic are. If you guys want me to do another card magic plot video, let me know. If I can get 5 more awesome card plots that you guys enjoy, I'll do another video. Or if you guys want to see something a little bit different, let me know some of your other favorite plots in Magic. Again, whether it be like, maybe I'll do a mentalism video or a linking ring video or a coin video. You let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.